Hello, this is the third video in the Ords forecasting series. Remember the very first video? I went back to the all-time high back in 07 for the GFC and the big GFC low 18 months later. And then we had a subsequent bull run of 2,018 points in 763 days. I also said to write these numbers down because going forward they're going to become very, very powerful, very, very profitable if you use them correctly. So I'm going to go forward into our third series. And you remember the first chart we had 763 days. The bull run took 763 days. So we have kept that number in our back pocket. And that's where that top there, which is a 5070, which is a slightly higher double top up there. That was our 763 days from the low and our top of 2,018 points. So as I've mentioned, I use the same numbers again and again and again. I expect nothing to change until the market tells me it's changed. And I have a double bottom and a double top rule, which basically if they're pretty close to the top, or pretty close to the bottom, within 0.5%, I deem them a double top. I don't need to be exact. I live in the real world, not a fantasy land. So close enough for me, within 10, 15 points over a 5,000 market is close enough for me. And then I take the midpoint, which is the date between that one and that one. I think these are about 355 days apart, so I halve that. And I put a midpoint on there and I count forward. And as we showed in the previous chart, I've had 763 days from low to top. So basically I put out a forecast about a week before this date down here, and I forecast it to make a lower run the 13th of the 14th of November, being 763 days from the midpoint. It ended up coming up in the 16th, which was 766, but I can live with that. Because as you know, I do not go long or I do not go short until I see a change in trend. For me, a change in trend is on my preferred date. If it's going down, I expect it to break the low day's high, I go long. And if I'm going short, I expect to break the high day's low. So there's no damage done. I was at a couple of days. I can live with that because we look at the subsequent bull run. Very strong, almost vertical. We went up something like, you can see, 900 points in basically 2.5, 3 months. So believe me when I say, you keep these numbers in your back pocket, they're going to work. Well, I haven't thrown away that number yet. So I had 763 from low to top. I had midpoint, 760 days from midpoint to low. What a great run that was. And I've taken the top over here, 765. So I did 766. As I say, it went down, so I was a couple of days out late here. I was 1 day early here. Great. Once again, no damage done. I don't go long or short until confirmation. But here we had a big collapse. This kept going down here for quite a way. We went down nearly 600 points in 3 weeks, coupled with my 900 points in 3 or 4 months. We're talking big profit here, and it's not punting. It's using the numbers that we've already gleaned from the previous chart, 763. It's as simple as that. If you remember that, you're doing fine. So, we're at 765 days to the top. There's a lot more shorter cycles than these. I'm just using the big picture at the moment because this is in real time. This is going back, gaining some history for our recent trades, which I'll bring up in the next couple of videos. So we had 766 down, fantastic. Squaring up with my run up. I had 765 days over. This number looking fantastic. And if you remember in the previous chart, from the bull run up, we had 2,018 points. So guess what? I'm looking for that to repeat in time or price. So if we go to the last chart of this little series, from the all-time high to our top in May was over 2,022 days. And as you see, as I said before, nearly 600 points in 3 weeks. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. So just a recap. 763 days from low to top. That's just your history. It's not making any money out of it. It's just I'm assuming you've never done this before, so I'm assuming you're just doing some back testing. There's a number to write down, 2018. There's another number to write down, 763. We go forward. 2018, 2022. Fantastic. Over that time period, 4 days, big deal. This is a weekly chart. If you don't want to trade daily, wait till it breaks the weekly bottom. Still 550 points in it. 763 days up, 765 days over. midpoint 766. Fantastic. And these dates vary by 3 or 4 days because, once again, I've talked about degrees. Different times of the year have different time periods. Half of the year is 182 and a half, but you'll find that one half of the year will be 179 and one half of the year will be 186. Depends which the angle the Earth is to the Sun. I don't go too hard into that. I'm just aware of it. That's why I use degrees as well as days. I'm going to finish up now, but we have this number has given us a fantastic low within a couple of days and been 1 day out on the top. Doesn't get much better than that. Talk to you soon.